I've been talking now with you, Lizzie, for a little while, and it's really fascinating to kind of see how your business has taught you different things.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
as far as what it means to be green. What are some of those things that you've learned?
I mean, when I started doing this 5 years ago, everybody was making hemp t-shirts and saying, I'm green, I'm green, I'm green. And I think that we've had sort of an evolution in the green movement. More awareness has been there, more product has become available, some of which is green, some of which is not green. So I think for me, I've really learned to research and understand my vendors, where it really comes from, and be able to talk about it with a level of confidence. Also, being in fashion, being green means like being pretty, right? Like, and it's kind of an interesting juxtaposition between the two. Like, you know, this is a world of phoniness and two skinny girls, and you know, and yet I'm trying to do something within my business that is none of those things and represents none of those things. Angus.
Exclamation point.
Yeah, at least he's got good timing. So I've kind of realized, for me, at the end of the day, it's my choice to be green in fashion. I choose to use all sustainable or upcycled fabrics, and then I have to focus on making a garment and focus on the design. And I think that's where the people in the industry who are really true good designers, who are truly committed to their own business ethics, succeed, right? Like, it's my choice to use sustainable fabrics. And you know what? I hate to say this, but most people, it's not a purchase decision based on the fabric. It's based on how they look in it, and it's based on how it fits and how it's made.
So, I mean, I want to kind of drill into that just a little bit, because I really think it's about making more conscientious choices and advocating for that kind of change in the fashion world. And don't you think that's a big responsibility of organizations like yours, who are sort of making it a big deal for them, whereas some of the bigger fashion houses might not consider it at all?
I mean, being an advocate, I think another part of being green, most people I know do a lot of charity work too and advocate for a lot of different things. So I don't know that I ever thought of myself as an advocate for green fashion, but what I will say, so this is something I've learned today, is as like the last year since I've had the storefront, like I've really been conscious about where I present my stuff, and usually it's in relation to something connected with a charity. So I try to do that. And I am, you know, I will talk about it to anyone. I will talk about it to students. I respond to most student requests I get. So I try to do that. And if there was sort of a green fashion organization, I would love to be a member of it. So you kind of look at where you can advocate. But with the bigger fashion houses, it's a challenge, right? Because it's all about cost, and there's this perception that it's more expensive to, you know, manufacture organically.
Right.
I personally think that's bullshit. I hope that's okay that I said that. I mean,
we're on the internet. You can.
I look at fabric fabric cost, and yes, sometimes sustainable fabric is more, but sometimes so is non-sustainable fabric. So I don't know. I mean, maybe my job is to kind of say it how it is. And I don't know where it's going to go, but you know, there are fewer and fewer sustainable brands because of the economic situation has kind of been the second, you know, thing that's happened here in the fashion world. And I don't know that it's a bad thing, because I think there was a lot of crap out there and there was a lot of excess. And now we are getting a more edited offering of everything in fashion. And I'm also seeing people who are realizing they don't need as much. And for me, as someone who produces things, I've had to adjust to that, but I don't think it's bad. So, you know, I think there's a lot going on. And I'm also finding that there are groups and pockets of people, specifically in social networks, that kind of all band together and we all find each other and we get out the bullhorn and talk about that you can make a difference with sort of voting with your feet, with what you purchase, how you behave, how you run your business, and so hopefully that will continue.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's an awesome way to think about your industry, and also to consider that you're by being in business are helping change things.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a big deal.
Yeah, and it's also too, I really feel like with like this sort of 80s-esque period of excess we went through for a while there, like the shop on the corner and someone who does what I do kind of disappeared. And I mean, do we want to be a Walmart society? It's not sustainable. There's so many things that go into that. And so what's been the most fun for me is just being a really active part of my community here. Like, not thinking about, like, as a fashion designer, you start out and you want to sell your stuff everywhere and you want to be the next Donna Karan and it's all about me. And you know what? Being in here with my customer Barbara, who brought me farm fresh eggs, and like, I kind of like that more.
So much more. Yeah, and the fulfillment you get from that is untold, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean, and so I hope that and I do even put that into a part of being green in a weird way, because it's about being a part of your community and caring where things go. You know, even a simple thing like I tend to support my local wine shop here. It's very important to me. I call it
Hey, me too.
Yeah, he's right down there. His name's Frank. He just got an adorable new dog. Does he have all sustainable wines? No, he does not.
Yeah.
And you know what? Some of them that are organic, I don't like, and that's okay.
Right.
But I'm spending money in my community that goes back into my community, and that's another important thing that I think. When you do that, you know, you can reduce carbon footprint. There's a lot of different ways to look at what it means to be green.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you so much for your time. It's been fantastic having you as a guest, and I look forward to following up with you and staying in touch as everything moves forward.
And I guess I should say happy trails.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again.
Okay.